Squeezing Out Solutions, Sponge Cities by Charlotte, Zoe and Connie. Global weirding describes the growing unpredictability of climate-related events, including extreme heat, cold, storms, and shifting seasonal patterns due to climate change. This volatility has increased urban flooding, driven by more intense rainfall, rising seas, and loss of vegetation. Cities worldwide are feeling the impact. Infrastructure, like roads, tunnels, and subways, are vulnerable, as seen during Hurricane Sandy in New York 2012. Utility systems often fail during floods, while Hurricane Harvey overwhelmed drainage systems, damaging power grids and water facilities in Houston 2017. Flooding also erodes buildings and promotes mold growth and causes major economic disruption. Low-income and marginalized communities are hit the hardest, lacking resources for flood defenses or relocation. In Dhaka, Bangladesh, monsoon floods regularly cripple infrastructure. Meanwhile, rising seas are already forcing displacements in cities like Jakarta and parts of Miami.
Sponge cities is a concept popularized by Chinese landscape architect Conjun Yu. It's a concept in urban planning that focuses on managing rainwater runoff to reduce the risk of floods, and can be achieved by nature-focused landscaping. Therefore, cities are more able to absorb and retain water like sponges. Sponge cities allow reduce in urban flooding, water shortage, and heat island effect. Sponge cities involve many components, such as green infrastructure. This includes structures to manage rainwater, such as permeable pavements, green roofs, urban wetlands, and rain gardens. Another factor is water absorption and storage. This involves slowing down the flow of rainwater so it can be absorbed into the ground or stored in like tanks and reservoirs. Improved water quality. This includes rainwater flowing through natural systems, so sponge cities help to get rid of pollutants before they reach stores of water, such as rivers and lakes. Flood mitigation. This stores and absorbs excess water to help reduce the risk of surface water flooding. So where can these be seen in the world? The first example is in Shanghai, China. In Linjiang district, pavements are lined with trees, gardens, and public squares are full of plant beds. There are also plans to display new buildings enveloped in parks, streams, and water features. In Linjiang, the wide streets are built with permeable pavements, allowing water to drain to the soil. Central reservations are used as rain gardens filled with soil and plants. Another example is in Auckland, New Zealand. Researchers have calculated that 50% of Auckland's surface was green or blue, even after excluding its harbours. In an intense rainfall event, 50 millimetres falling in 24 hours, they estimated that 35% of the water falling on Auckland would be absorbed into these spongy blue and green parts. Auckland's urban trees improve air quality and make the city spongier. Their roots absorb some of the storm water and slow down its movement, and they also can't be planted into concrete, so areas with trees have at least some permeable surface.
How could the concept of sponge cities be applied to Cambridge? This concept of sponge cities could be applied to Cambridge by removing impermeable concrete surfaces and replacing these with permeable surfaces, such as terracotta bricks or gravel. Additionally, rain gardens could be put in place by planting more greenery on the riverbanks to absorb additional water when the river is in the early stages of flooding and there has been heavy rainfall. This would also create more green space in the city to make it more visually appealing. Also, some new builds could add green roofs into their houses to absorb more water and remove pollutants, which will be essential as Cambridge grows further. Is the solution. There are pros and cons of sponge cities, as there would be with any scheme. Sponge cities require a fair amount of maintenance in order to prevent clogging and keep plants healthy. Additionally, sponge cities can be expensive to create, so the initial cost of them are very high. However, sponge cities can create cleaner water and a healthier environment, as green roofs and rain gardens can help to remove pollutants, as well as making cities more visually appealing with lots of green space. They also create long-term savings, as while the sponge cities have short-term costs, they can create money if they prevent flood damage in the future.